Welcome tonight.
Follow the crowd. Sat on the back row. Got myself ready. Thought I was gonna see a show. Someone said to me, glad you made it today. Wait till you hear.
I would like to welcome our viewing audience tonight to Real Convo. I am your host, Shantrice Robinson. And yes, you have thought about it, but tonight we shall talk about it. A real conversation, single and satisfied. Tonight I have in the studio with me Miss Kourtney Robinson. She's an entrepreneur. She's a stylist, she's a mother, and she's the founder of Ladies with Faith. So tonight I would like to welcome in the studio, welcome Miss Kourtney Robinson. How are you this
I'm
evening?
great. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have someone in the studio to have the real conversation with. So tonight we're going to dive into this conversation on tonight, single and satisfied. How do you feel being single?
Honestly, I feel great. I feel great from where I was at before to now. I can honestly say I feel great about it. Learning myself to the path. Like I once was engaged, but during that engagement, like so many people was trying to figure out why I stopped calling off the wedding and stuff. So here I'm now to tell you guys, 7 years. I mean, I had a great relationship and everything, but I feel like I didn't know myself. I needed to figure out who I was outside of being a mom, outside of being a fiance, outside of being a hairstylist. So I just feel like I was not about to get married and bring had be miserable and stuff. But other than that, and then growing up, I really didn't have that conversation where how somebody should treat me or in that relationship we didn't hadn't asked the necessary questions. So I feel like I'm not about to get married at this time of my life. So now I'm just single, living life, just living life, satisfied.
So it's nothing like having a single life and being happy in it. Many people find, oh, I'm miserable because I need somebody. I want somebody. Do you feel at times like, I would love to have somebody, but I'm so satisfied in this single life that I wanted to just be about me, myself, and I right now? Not being selfish, but just finding yourself. And how did you find yourself on this journey? What path did you take to get here?
Okay, like the path is not an easy path at all. It was times like I went back, I ain't gonna say relapse, but I went back to I say I'm gonna do something, but then don't do it. I mean, I found myself just one random day, I say August 21st is my whole rebirth day. Like August
Oh.
21st, I text my aunt, like, I'm ready for this change. I'm just tired, I'm just tired of my life going the way it was going. So my aunt, she just been like my prayer partner every time I go for like anything I need. So that day I just was like, I'm ready. After that, I fast, pray every day. And one, like you said, like prayer changed everything. So once I did that, everything just is happening day by day, taking it day by day.
So you feel like now you're living a single and satisfied life in God.
Yeah.
And that's where you're at. You're not just a single woman, but you're a single woman living a satisfied life with God in mind. How do one go on this journey? How, express how you went on your journey to say, God, I'm going to invite you into my single life. And I'm not going to do this without you, because some people go through life and they leave God out of the equation. They don't even think about God on a daily basis. But I hear you say you pray, you have a prayer partner, which is your aunt, and you seek God even in your singleness. And I'm just reminded in Psalms 119 where it says, wherewithal shall a man cleanse his ways? God, I come to you, I seek you in this, and I hide your word in my heart. I hear you saying, like, God, I'm hiding your word in my heart, that even through my singleness, I may find you in it. Is it hard to be single and walk in the words of God?
Honestly, to me, without prayer, without God, I feel like I'm nothing. So that's my wake up before I go to bed. I set my time, 12 p.m. That's how I invite him in. It's like without him, I feel like that's the only path I can go. Like he's my main source. So that's that's the only thing. Like he's my main source. Without him, I'm nothing. Like I feel like that right person's not going to come without God. So
Amen.
so that's why I'm just single and satisfied till God bring that person in. Like so,
So you're gonna live this happy
happy
life
life.
in God and
Yep.
single.
Yep.
Do you feel sometimes pressured, like to get married?
I'm not gonna say I feel pressure, but it gets lonely sometimes because I was in a 7 year relationship, so I was used to waking up, going to sleep, being there when I get off work. I ain't gonna say I feel pressure. I mean, yeah, like I said, I do get lonely, but again, I keep God first. I ask God like help, like guide me through when I feel like that time again. Like I just pray, like I just that prayer life. And then my child, she helps me like not focus on stuff like that. So
That's a blessing.
that and when she's with her dad, I'm in the house reading the Bible, like reading my Bible, doing my own personal Bible studies, writing poems, writing in my journal and
That's
stuff like that.
awesome.
So there's ways you can get around that being single and satisfied, like just the temptation, all that.
So do you find yourself journaling?
A lot.
Journaling your walk
Yep, a lot.
a
That's
lot.
that's the only way I feel like I can get through stuff. Like if I write it down, just write everything down in my book. I got like 3, 4, 5 books
Wow.
in
Wow,
in my
that's
phone.
something.
It's like when I'm going through, I gotta jot it down so I can always look at that. Like, oh, I came from this. Like, so
So you know how far you've come. You know
yeah,
your walk.
yeah,
And that's a good thing because many people don't have that to look back on to see how far they've come. Because when you know how far you've come in this single life and you've done it all with God, you couldn't have done it on your own.
right.
There's no way that you can do it on your own. And when people understand a life outside of God is like a bomb waiting to go off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And your disaster waiting to happen because you're doing this without God. And then when people find themselves single and in all of this temptation, because there is temptation out there.
Most definitely.
There's much temptation out there. And you find yourself stuck in this temptation and not being able to find your way out. How do we say to a person, I'm single, I'm satisfied. And if you want to know how I did it, this is how I did it. And I hear you say you've journaled. I hear you say you've prayed. But is it everyday, like a lifestyle for you, or is it sometimes?
It's became a lifestyle. I'm not. It's tough. It's tough. Like praying, then you get what you want. Then sometimes you fall back because God gave you what you want. Then it's like, but in my mind, it's like, no, I need to still be consistent. I understand God gave me this; He could easily take it away from me. So just be consistent with it. I try to. I ain't gonna say I try. I do keep God first. Like keep my prayer in my journal and everything. So you gotta find some time. Be consistent.
1 Corinthians 7 says, the unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. How do we say when you're feeling this feeling? You know what I'm saying? Um, this is what I do. I get my mind off of the things of my flesh wanting to be satisfied sexually, because we have to talk about it, right?
All right.
Wanting to be satisfied sexually. Some people go to alcohol, some people go to drugs, some people go to various things. But I hear you saying that's not your appetite in this season of being singleness. Your appetite is to seek God in it so that you can stay on the right path. So when that temptation comes, what does Kourtney do?
Get my Bible, get my journal, or just journal. Or sometimes my favorite place. I don't care like what time it is, what day it is. I will get in the shower because that is like my prayer. That is like my prayer. Like I lock the door for my child won't come in there because I need that time to myself. Like God, please, like what's going on? Tell me. So them temptations started coming. I get in the corner, go on my car, just anywhere, just like that's my main thing I do. Just to get my mind off it.
Right. And I want people to understand, just because you find yourself single and you have a life with God does not mean that temptation will not come. Does not mean that you won't be tempted, you know. So we don't want to give people this false sense of hope of that, or if I'm single and I'm satisfied and I'm in God, then temptation won't come. I won't have to be faced with that. I won't have to fight off the enemy. But constantly there's a warfare. And
Mhm.
people have to understand that warfare is real, especially when you're single, because when some people are married, you know, the temptation is there too, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but you have a spouse to bounce back
All
on.
right.
You know, a spouse to go to, you know, a spouse that you can say, hey, you know, tonight is the night, you know, and it's right, you know. And so you don't have to worry about the temptation of trying to satisfy, you know, your flesh or what the flesh wants to do, and just allow yourself to be free enough in God and be single and satisfied, as we say.
Say, go do something. Go do something alone. Go do something for yourself. Me, I just found out myself. I go on vacation by myself. I recently went to Texas alone by myself, a little self care trip. The amazing, like most amazing time. Like I go to brunch. I do everything alone. And I'm like, I don't need nobody for this. I can do this
So you're
myself.
totally satisfied
Yeah,
being
yeah,
single.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So like
Wow.
my trip to Texas, that was my first time out of the state alone. When I say that was the best trip ever, I went to go see Sarah Jake Roberts and
Okay.
Woman of All. Like I
How
can
was that?
I can honestly, when people ask me how I was, I don't know how to like express it because it's like you had to be there. It was like a breakthrough for me. It was my personal experience. It's like it was amazing. Like it was my breakthrough. Like I felt like a room full of 40,000 women coming to know. I'm sitting here crying with these people I don't know,
Wow.
but we all sisters. So it's like it was amazing. Like it's really I can't talk about it because it's like you had to be there. But I mean, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I can't say that, but like I said, it was like my personal experience and definitely
Wow.
going to it next year too.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you find even in singleness that you have to walk this walk alone
alone. Yep.
sometimes.
Because walking and walk alone. Because let me friends, family, love y'all, but sometimes they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Like you trying to change, you trying to change, but they still see the old side of you. So it's like, oh, you being fake, you doing this and you doing that. I'm like, I used to like now. At first, I like. I'm very emotional when it comes to stuff like that. I'm very emotional, but sometimes now it's like that's what y'all gonna think. So it's like I got to get over it and keep going. Like y'all get here one day. So
Right. You have to face the fear of being alone
yeah,
and walking this walk without
yeah.
family, without
It's like I be
friends.
wanting my friends and family to go on like along with it, but everybody not ready for the change. So
Yeah. And some people can't handle and understand your
yeah,
change.
that's
And
I'm like
that's the hardest part.
that's my whole thing. Trying to I be wanting people to understand, but then I'm like it's for me, only for me. So it's like they get it, they get it. They don't, they don't. They'll see me change. Like they see me these blessings are. I'm like, oh, what you doing? How you doing? God did it.
That's like single and satisfied, and God did it,
Yup,
right?
single satisfied God did it. So,
So
but
that's awesome. That's awesome when you can sit back and you can critique yourself
yeah,
in your journey, in your walk in life, and understand how you got there. You knew that it was something in your life that you were not happy with. So I want to talk about. I know you went on a weight loss journey,
yes.
and it
Ooh,
seems to be working for you.
it's amazing.
Tell us about this weight loss
Okay,
journey.
so I recently had the gastric sleeve surgery February last year. Was 288 pounds. Now I'm 192. Probably more. I like to eat now. But that journey for me, like it's been amazing. It's like I found myself. I found myself like usually I didn't want to like do nothing. I just sit in the house covered in clothes because I don't want to go. I feel uncomfortable and stuff like that. But it's now it's like I'm more open. Like I posted like my whole journey, so I have people come in my inbox DMs and asking like, "What's the journey?" I have a few friends and family that just had the surgery,
Oh, wow.
so it's like I'm in like that inspiration. So I just this part of like I was going through my little weight loss. I was kind of insecure about my weight, but now I love myself. Like I love myself. So anyway, nobody can tell me nothing. Like hold on, But yeah,
So you're embracing who you are
most
totally,
definitely. Yep.
totally. The whole you.
The whole me. Yep.
You're embracing it and you're loving it at the same
Loving
time.
it. Loving it.
So
And
that's a good
it's
thing when you
amazing.
can find yourself, because many people it take a lifetime before they find themselves, or some people never ever find themselves. But you say to yourself, I've discovered myself, and even through this weight loss journey, it has helped me to be a better me and to love me
Yep.
because people don't love themselves. When we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see, because I mean, a couple of months ago, I was a little much more heavier, and I felt like I didn't like the Shantrice that I was seeing in the mirror. I didn't like her, but I knew inside this loving and this caring and this affection and this beautiful person, but I just didn't like the weight that I
Right.
had gained. So I understand where you're coming from, and that's my truth. So I thank God even for me losing those couple of pounds. And when I did, I'm like you. I looked in the mirror and
Yeah.
you couldn't tell me anything. And it's like that. Like you feel like, oh, you can't tell me anything.
Yeah,
I've
but
lost.
let me tell you, some days I still have my challenges. I look in the mirror and still see the old me. Sometimes I still
Wow.
it was so hard. Like just now throwing away my big clothes. I'm putting these clothes on. I still feel like this big person.
Wow.
So you do have them days, but then again, you look back in the mirror like, oh, I changed. Like this is me. I look nice. Like, but you do have
So
those
was the
days.
appetite part hard?
Whew.
How was that?
Now the first 2 weeks of the surgery, that was the most hard. Like just drinking liquids.
Mhm.
That but now like the process, like you eat like 2 bites you full. That's what irritates me so bad because my your eyes bigger than your stomach, so you put all this on a plate and then you get it like seriously I can't eat this. But now it's kind of scary. I can eat a whole Happy Meal.
Oh wow. So your appetite is coming back and your body is adjusting now.
Yeah, but you got to watch out because you can't pick up the weight back. So
Wow.
I try to maintain like going in gym still and try to stick to a little diet. But now I like to eat. And now like after my surgery, I could cook. My family thought I couldn't cook, but I could really
Hmm.
cook. So I'm in the kitchen cooking.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're living this single life, really,
yeah,
doing it all.
doing it all.
Lost the weight, you're praying, you're seeking God in it, you're a single mother. So how is it being single and a single
Honestly, I ain't gonna say single mom because I feel like her dad. I mean, her dad is there, of course, but it's great. Like, but you gotta watch out what you do around them because they pick up for everything. But honestly, my child, she when I say she watches everything I do, she likes to pray too. Some nights
mom?
I just have my camera rolling because I know like for a fact, as soon as we turn off the light, she's like, "Mom, it's time to pray." I'm like, "Yes, she's watching me."
Well, we have to take a commercial break. I don't want to interrupt you, but at this appointed time, I want to say to our listening audience, please stay tuned for Single and Satisfied, and we will be back shortly so that we can finish the real combo of being single and satisfied, knowing that there's a purpose even in being single and satisfied with it. It's not for a lost cause, but it's all worth it. It's for your good to find yourself and be satisfied in finding yourself in your single state. Know that if you lean not to your own understanding and understand who God is in your life and understand that God has a purpose, even in your singleness, God has a purpose and a plan for you. He know the thoughts that he thinks towards you, and that's a perfect plan even in living a single lifestyle. So please stay tuned and we will be right back after these broadcast messages. Welcome back. We were leaving off with single, satisfied, and being a single mom. And yes, I have Miss Kourtney Robinson in the studio with me. So we're going to continue the real combo. So you were saying how it is being a single mom, being satisfied, and loving God all at the same time. How is that?
Oh yeah, like I was saying, my child, she watches everything I do, so like I was saying, I have my camera rolling every night because she know what to do. As soon as the light turn, I'm like, Mom, we gotta pray. I'm like, girl, I know this, but I just let her go ahead and do it. Then she start, she'll repeat after me. Then I let her say her little verse at the like praying who she praying for. I'm like, I be clapping like in the inside. I'm like, yes, she watching me. And when she see me writing and saying, anybody, right? She like, you writing stuff that's in the Bible? I'm like, yes. So it's like, like I'm doing a good job with that. I know I'm doing a good job with that. So it's really, I mean, it's going good to me. So
Well, that's good because the Bible tells us to train up a child in the way that they should go.
yeah,
And even when she gets older, if she departs, she'll come back to it because it's what she know.
right,
So that's a good thing that even though you're balancing out, because at one point in time, like you say, you were engaged, the father
right,
was in the household. And so it makes a difference when you remove one parent from the household and now she's here some days, she's there some days, but you all give her the same amount of love to make her feel like it's still a household of a family
yeah,
structure. So that's good. And I'm glad that you're finding balance and being a single mom and being single and satisfied because most people, they'll forget about their children. I mean, they would be so busy partying. They would be so busy into themselves because they're trying to find
find myself,
themselves.
right, yeah,
But you seem to have found yourself, and that's a good thing that your child isn't lacking, isn't
yeah,
missing anything in you being a single mama and single and
yeah.
satisfied.
Like when we first ended our relationship and stuff, it was kind of hard for her. She used to cry because she's so used to seeing us together for the time she been living. I mean, been here or whatever. So I mean, now it's like she don't want to go with my dad. I'm
Aw.
getting a little jealous, but it's okay. I see you. So it's been good, but she balanced it really well, which I'm happy for. Like I pray about that too, and definitely like in the beginning, it was hard to see like the steps in her dad in the relationship and stuff. But now it's like, hey, it's what I chose. So I needed to find me. I needed to tell him he could find somebody to love him better than I could because I felt like I wasn't loving him properly.
Mm.
So I feel like single and satisfied, I'm doing good.
So even in single and satisfied, we have to find a way to love
Yeah,
and give love and be loved and
yeah.
know that we are loved, you know?
Now love, love with me. Like growing up, no offense to nobody. Growing up, it was like you grow up off the struggle, you grow up off love. Like I say both. It was a balance. Like having like when people tell me they love me, I feel like it just makes me cringe because I was loved, most definitely loved by my parents and whatever. But it's like just hearing and not hearing it often,
Mhm.
like from like just not hearing it often. It just makes me cringe. But it's like now I'm trying to find like when somebody say love you, I'm like, oh, you really mean that? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like I love you too, and I really mean it. I hope you mean it too.
Yeah,
So,
because it's something that's foreign,
yeah,
when you're not expecting to receive that from somebody and
yeah,
you didn't receive it in that manner growing up. So when somebody tells you, I love you, it's like, do you really love me?
yeah. That's my thing. Like,
Is it real? Is it fake?
yeah,
And how will I know the
how
difference?
would I get this? But now with my child, I love you, I love you, I love you every day, all day. As soon as my child go in the bathroom, tell you not. She say, "Mom, I love you." I'm like, as soon as she walk in the bathroom, I know. Wake up, love you. Like it's like yes, gotta train her right, cause we gonna get this back down. You my bestie.
Right, right.
So,
And then you want her to feel that love.
mm-hmm.
You want her to, what you didn't get, you want her to receive so that she don't grow up feeling like, you know, I don't know how to receive this love. Is this love genuine or is this love fake? What does this love come with? Is it a price behind it? Is it a agenda behind it? You want her to be able to identify real love. And so I'm glad that you're single and you're able to love because when we get out of some relationships, we say we'll never love again.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like I haven't. I was. I love the person, but I wasn't in love. So I never had the experience of being in love. So it's like when that time comes, this one I'm not rushing nothing. I'm like I want to experience that feeling like, oh, I'm ready to be in love. this is my person. Like, it's
Right.
already like when that time comes, wait, someone did have that love and love feeling.
But right now we're
But right now,
single and
seems
satisfied.
satisfied. Yes, yes, because
Okay, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. So let's talk about ladies with faith.
okay.
How did that come about?
So it's me and my other friend Kourtney, one of my clients. We just she's on the same walk, like the same journey as I am, and we just one day we was talking about it, and it's because I do her hair. We just talking about it, and one day I was texting like, "Yo, we need to start a group because there's a lot of people that wants to go through the journey but don't know how to." For me, it's like I wanted to like it was I turn back from it, then come back, then turn back, come back. So it's like now like I could show somebody like I could help somebody walk with them. Can't say I can't show them, but I could walk with them.
Hmm.
I mean, I used to think because I wanted to get to know God, people's gonna judge me.
Right,
So
right,
it's like, oh, she's so holy and she can't do this and can't do that. I'm like, no, I'm still human. I'm
right.
still human. So I just that group, the group, I just want everybody to come together, worship together, pray together, like have somebody to lean on to. So
Right.
we made that. We didn't have our first meeting yet, but we working on that right now because we're still trying to balance
Okay.
our life and with everything. So
Okay.
that's what we'll be doing. So be on the lookout.
So it's a ladies' faith group, and when one feels weak, the other
Oh,
is
this
there to
yep,
strengthen her.
yep,
And is it? It's ladies only.
yep,
So is
ladies.
there an age limit to this thing?
Honestly, it's no age limit because ain't no age limit with somebody who wanted to get to know God. So
Right,
I feel
right.
like anybody, because like I said, my child, she's learning too, so she want
Yeah,
to be in what she gonna be.
she's gonna be a part. She have
Yeah,
no choice
yeah.
but to
So
be a part.
I feel no age, like no age limit, because I feel like no age, don't have no age limit to know God. So
I think that's a good thing when we can learn how to trust God and put our faith in God, even as ladies. Even, I'm sure there are some married women that probably will join the faith group
yeah,
as well as single ladies, but even finding a balance between being married and being single, because a lot of people feel that when they're married, they don't want to hang out with single people. That's the stereo. That's the stereotype. I'm married and I don't need to hang out with single people. Not understanding there is something that you still could get from this
that's
single person, like your faith walk.
yeah,
Some woman may be married but not know how to trust God in that walk. And so here you can be that single person, single and satisfied,
right.
and come along and embrace them and help them to walk that faith walk through ladies with faith. And so I want at the end of the show for you to tell the listening audience how they can get in touch with you, how they can find you, and how they can become a part at the end of the segment.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad that you are really embracing this single life
Yeah,
and that you found yourself and that it's not a foreign object to you anymore, that it's a lifestyle for you now,
good lifestyle.
and that you really mean it. Like you said, you know what it feels like to go back,
Yeah,
but now you know what it feels like to continue forward, to keep pressing, to keep pushing, to keep elevating, to keep going forward. And as you say, you found yourself going to Sarah Jake's shows
yes, most
and
amazing thing ever.
feeding yourself the necessary things to equip you so that you can continue being single and satisfied and not feeling like you're missing out on something. In the party scene, you're missing out on something in the drugs, you know, and alcohol.
I
So
think that's
that's a good
I
thing.
think that's what most people like when they want to get close with God. They think they gotta stop. I mean, stop everything cold turkey. That was my case. Like I used to think like, oh, I'm gonna have to stop this and stop that. But like I said, I'm human. I'm gonna take it day by day. Yes, I like to go have fun, but it's a like that like it's part of like a limit to having fun. What I would do, like limit to doing stuff. So it's like you don't have to stop everything cold turkey. I'm still
Developing.
developing, becoming the person I am. I'm still learning my stuff day by day. Learning each like it's something different day by day. So I feel like anybody can do it. Trust me, if I do it, you can do it. So
and you're happy with it,
Yeah.
and you can see it in you and over you that you're happy being single, because some people fake it. They act like they're happy being single, but they're really miserable. And I just thank God that you're not that person that's hiding behind a mask.
No, I mean, once before I really started my own walk with God, it was a challenge. I was like, oh, like why I can't have that and why I can't. But
Hmm.
then I'm like praying, I'm like God, show me why I can't have that. He showed me like, all right, like. But now it's like I see why I can't have that. I see why I need to be single. I need to see why I need to isolate myself from stuff. Now I'm just like I'm single and satisfied. I'm happy living life.
It goes back to that
It just go
temptation.
back to yep.
And God doesn't want you to fall into that temptation, because it's so easy to fall into, but hard to
Hard to
get
get
out
out.
of. Once you fall, like they said, a just man falls 7 times.
Yeah.
But it's not in the falling, it's in how many times he gets back up and get in the race.
Mm-hmm.
For the word tells us the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that endured to the end. And you're enduring this race. You're running your course.
Most definitely.
You're running your
It's
race.
never ending.
So who will you pass the torch to?
My child.
That's it.
My child.
That's it.
That's my child.
That's it.
He's right there in my corner, beside me, behind me, in front of me.
Come on.
So
Come
my
on.
child. She's
Right.
watching everything I do. So I feel like you're next. You're up next.
Tag you're in.
Yep, tag you in. I feel like she's going to do great because she's so smart. She, like I said, she watches everything I do. So, Sarah, got you.
And you have to be that example before her.
Most definitely.
Well, I thank you, Miss Kourtney, for coming on the show with us today. Tell the listening audience how they can find you, how they can get in contact with you. Are you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube?
Yes, I am on Instagram, Faith Lord Jesus, have mercy. Ladies with Faith 757. That's on Instagram and the same on Facebook too. So you can do that. And yeah, on Instagram.
Okay. Well, there it is. Well, you have heard it here first on Real Combo, the conversation of single and satisfied. So you know now that you can live a single life and be satisfied in it. You don't have to rush into anything just because the status quo is saying, hey, it's the honorable thing to do to get married. Yes, God wants us to get married. Yes, God wants us to live a fulfilling life. But at the same time, you can be single, love God, live life. So I say to my listening audience today, live, love, and have fun, and always have the real conversation no matter what it takes, because there's a real conversation to be had, and we will always continue this conversation on Real Combo. So all you have to do is reach out to us. You can find me as well, Shantrice Robinson. I'm on Facebook Live at Treese Robinson. That's again Treese Robinson on Facebook Live. I'm on Instagram as T Beecham, as T Beecham on Instagram. And so, as always, I invite you in every Thursday, the same time, the same place, same social media. Don't forget to have a real conversation. And guess what? Today we thought about you when we were thinking about this real conversation, single and satisfied. Enjoy your evening, everyone.
You.
Follow the crowd. Sat on the back row. Got myself ready. Thought I was gonna see a show. Someone said to me, glad you made it today. Wait till you hear.
That was great.